They say every family hides a secret, but the Karamazov family doesn't hide theirs. They display it openly, violently, painfully. If you want to understand human nature, its desires, its contradictions, its guilt, its love, there is hardly a better place to look than this story. Because the Brothers Karamazov is not just about a murder. It's not just about a dysfunctional family. It's a map of the human soul, drawn through the lives of three brothers who share the same father but almost nothing else. Dmitri, Ivan, Alyosha. Three men who stand at three corners of human nature, the body, the mind, and the spirit. Three ways a person can live, and three ways a person can fall apart. But to understand them, you first have to understand the man who created their suffering. Their father, Fyodor Pavlovich, a drunk, a clown, a selfish, loud, embarrassing man who had money but no dignity, love affairs but no love, children but no paternal instinct. He is the kind of man who plants chaos and then acts surprised when chaos comes back to devour him. Everyone in this story is running from him, or toward him, or trying to become the opposite of him. And that is where our story begins. Dmitri, Mitya, is the oldest brother, and in many ways the simplest to understand. He wants what he wants: money, love, attention, passion, and he wants it now. He is impulsive, explosive, generous, violent, and painfully honest. His emotions don't walk, they sprint, they crash, they take down everything in their path. Dmitri loves two women at the same time, Katerina, who loves him deeply, and Grushenka, who entertains his chaos and mirrors it back to him. His relationship with his father is a disaster. Both of them want the same woman, both of them want power, and both of them want to hurt each other. If you remove the Russian names and the 19th century setting, Dmitri is the kind of man you still meet today, someone who feels life too much, who doesn't know how to control himself, and who becomes dangerous not because he is evil, but because he is overwhelmed by his own desires. Dmitri is the body, raw emotion, raw instinct, raw need. He represents the part of us that wants to live, even if living destroys us. If Dmitri is chaos, Ivan is ice. He is brilliant, controlled, almost too rational. He questions everything: morality, God, justice, suffering. And he has no patience for simple answers. Ivan's famous line, "I respectfully return my ticket," is his refusal to accept a world where innocent people suffer, where children are harmed, where justice seems like an illusion. He rejects the idea that pain is necessary, that salvation requires obedience, that the universe has any moral order at all. And this is where his tragedy begins. His mind is too sharp, too logical, too clear to allow him peace. He carries within him a vision of a world that should exist but doesn't. Albert Camus was deeply influenced by Ivan. He saw in Ivan the birth of the modern rebel, a person who refuses to accept a universe that does not align with human morality. The absurd, the rebellion, the confrontation with meaninglessness. Camus saw Ivan as a precursor to existentialism, but Ivan's mind, powerful as it is, cannot save him. Because intellect without connection slowly collapses. He begins to imagine a devil. He begins to lose grip on reality. Logic, when pushed too far, becomes madness. Ivan represents the part of us that thinks too much, that questions until we dissolve into our own thoughts, that carries the unbearable weight of understanding. And then there is Alyosha, the youngest brother, the one who doesn't argue, who doesn't scream, who doesn't demand. Where Dmitri burns and Ivan freezes, Alyosha warms. He is gentle without being weak, kind without being naive, faithful without being blind. People misunderstand Alyosha. They think he represents religion, but he represents something older, something deeper, human goodness. Alyosha is the part of us that forgives, that understands without needing proof, that listens when others are shouting, that hopes when everyone else has given up. He is the glue holding the broken pieces of this family together. He is the quiet love that neither Dmitri nor Ivan knows how to show. Alyosha's presence in the story is a reminder that not all strength is loud, and not all gentleness is weakness. The plot is simple. Fyodor Pavlovich is murdered. Dmitri is accused. Ivan collapses under guilt and knowledge. Alyosha tries to save what can be saved. But the novel is not a detective story. It's a psychological story. Dmitri didn't kill his father, but he believed he could have. He wanted to, and that desire destroys him. Ivan didn't kill his father, but he intellectualized a philosophy where murder can be justified, and that guilt eats him alive. Alyosha didn't kill anyone, but he carries the suffering of all of them in his gentle, forgiving heart. The murder is simply a mirror, and each brother sees himself in it. For an American audience unfamiliar with Russian literature, this story might seem heavy, distant, foreign, but at its core, it is one of the most universal stories ever written. Dmitri is passion, Ivan is intellect, Alyosha is goodness. Every one of us leans toward one of these forces. Every family contains versions of these three. Every human decision swings between them. This is why the novel influenced Camus, Einstein, Freud, Kafka, and so many others. They saw themselves in the brothers. They saw humanity in the contradictions. Camus said the book taught him that rebellion must come with compassion, otherwise rebellion becomes cruelty. Freud admired the psychological layering, particularly the tension between father and sons. Einstein said it revealed the emotional struggle between faith and reason. This is not a Russian novel, it is a human one. Why the story still matters? Because every one of us has a Dmitri inside. A part that feels too much, wants too much, loves too wildly. Every one of us has an Ivan, the part that questions, doubts, thinks, at 3 a.m. about meaning and suffering and morality. And every one of us wishes we had a bit more Alyosha, the ability to forgive, to calm, to understand, to hope. The brothers are not characters, they are archetypes, 3 internal voices, 3 internal battles. And Dostoevsky's brilliance is that he lets us see what happens when each voice is allowed to rule a man's life completely. Dmitri follows passion and nearly destroys himself. Ivan follows logic and collapses. Alyosha follows love and survives. The lesson is not religious, it is human. A life built on only one part of ourselves will eventually fall apart. We need all 3. We need balance. The novel does not end neatly, it ends honestly. Life doesn't wrap itself in bows, and Dostoevsky knew that. Dmitri may be innocent, but he must pay for the chaos he created. Ivan may be brilliant, but brilliance cannot shield a man from his own mind. Alyosha may be good, but goodness cannot erase tragedy, only soften it. In the final pages, Alyosha gathers the children, reminds them to remember goodness, and speaks to them in a way the entire novel has been moving toward. That kindness matters, memory matters, love matters, even in a world full of suffering. And perhaps this is why the novel is so powerful. It doesn't pretend the world is beautiful, it simply insists that people can be. So now let me ask you, in this story of passion, intellect and mercy, which brother do you think represents human nature the most?